In the past, the 2000s were often mentioned as the decade when flying automobiles will finally become a reality. But as opposed to what we witnessed in fictional works, we observed that this reality was more challenging to accomplish. But what's more thrilling is that it appears as though the day when it becomes a reality is actually drawing near. Perhaps you are already able to follow the tests. Like and subscribe to the channel to receive brand new content every day. Eve, an Embraer company dedicated to the development of flying cars, informed that in September it will carry out the first simulation of urban air mobility. This simulation will take place in Chicago, United States. The simulation will be carried out with Blade Air Mobility helicopters and will serve as a test for the eVTOL, an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle known as a flying car. The purpose of this test is to be able to study the operations, ground services, passenger travel, and needs of these flying cars. Because of this, the simulation will take place for 3 weeks. During that time, tests will be carried out on the ground and passenger flights. All testing will take place at Vertiport Chicago, a helipad in downtown Chicago. They will simulate services, infrastructure, and requirements for these flying cars. Passengers will travel 2 routes, one to the Schaumburg Municipal Helipad, and the second route to the Tinley Park Helipad in Illinois. Flights cost $150 and should take around 15 minutes. Eve revealed to the public, in July of this year, the cabin of her first flying car. The model of this electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle, eVTOL, was released at an event aimed at the aerospace industry in England. On the occasion, Embraer showed how the current design of the car was. It has a conventional wing and tail rather than the previous canard configuration. In addition, in this new design, 8 rotors are fixed around the wing, which gives the vehicle the ability to take off and land vertically. This is the first model developed by the company. Embraer predicts that by 2035 more than 200 flying cars will transport 4.5 million passengers on more than 100 routes annually in Rio de Janeiro and the state's metropolitan region. As seen, the dream of flying cars is closer than ever to becoming a reality. Precisely for this reason, several places in the world are preparing for when that day comes. An example of this is the libertarian state of New Hampshire, which passed a law that will allow flying cars on its roads. Once they are a reality, of course. There was nothing in the books that allowed this type of vehicle on the road. To allow them to exist in New Hampshire, we had to pass this type of legislation, explained State Representative Sherman Packard, a project sponsor. The law does not allow flying cars to reach the sky, and it also does not allow them to take off or land on public roads, in addition to the small detail that the purchase of a flying car is not even allowed, even though there are already several startups and large companies working on projects. But when those vehicles go on sale, the law will allow them to drive on state roads, which lawmakers say was previously unlawful. According to Jeff Rapsis, executive director of the New Hampshire Aviation Museum, the first waves of flying cars are unlikely to get stuck in traffic. This will make the law easier for drivers to adapt. If you're driving down the road, you won't see an unusual device like aircraft coming after you. As long as it's on the road, it will behave like a normal car, he said. Amazing, isn't it? Do you believe in the safety of this technology, or do you think it is still too dangerous? Tell me in the comments below. Share with a friend who loves technology, and they will think it's amazing. Like, subscribe, and check out the amazing suggested video.